Before we dive in, a quick shout out to the community that makes this possible. This show is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network, a space where everyone is heard, loved and welcomed. To support the creators and find your next favourite show, please visit yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
Late at night, I tune into your show, where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in, as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long roundups. You run podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You run podcast. You run podcast.
A lot of perverts in here.
Hello and welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And we are, I can officially say it again, it's been a long time. We are the only fully interactive horror movie review show because the two shows that had copied us have now stopped making episodes.
Only the greatness shall rise.
Exactly. So we are now the only place where you get to pick the movies every single week. You get to review them, and you get to share your views in interactive features, and you get to play games too. If you've never listened before, the way this works is we give you our review and score of the movie, followed by a deep dive. And when I say deep, like we go all in, everything we liked, everything we didn't. Oh, it's gonna be that episode today.
It is. We've had a couple of weeks off. I'm feeling giddy. Let's go.
Yeah. We give you everything we liked, everything we didn't like. We do not do run throughs because if you want to run through the movie, just go watch it. We actually talk about the movie. After we've done that, we also scatter some facts through as well. We then give you brief roundups before doing interactive features, 3-word review. We've got voicemails this week. We've got quite a few voicemails this week. We've also got a game. There's a lot going on this week, so I'm really, really, really excited. How are you? Are you excited? It's been 2 weeks off.
Yes. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. Come on.
I'm going to hype you up even more. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
Show me them boobies.
This movie came packing this week.
It did. Wait until I share some of the facts. I'm going to ruin this movie for you. Today, you've probably guessed because you've read the episode title, or you've looked at the big thing above us, or you've looked at my excellent t-shirt.
That is an excellent t-shirt. I was laughing when we came on before. Did I say that's a great t-shirt, or did I just laugh and then move on swiftly?
You laughed, said I like that t-shirt, and then we moved on.
Oh.
We are covering The Substance. The Substance is a better, more well thought out and delivered version of Death Becomes Her. We follow Elizabeth Sparkle, played by Demi Moore, a former Oscar-winning actress who is now in the twilight years of her career. She's hosting a TV keep fit show. You know, like the things you see on a Saturday morning. We're like, move those hips, girls, move those hips. She's doing one of those. She soon discovers that she's getting replaced. And on her 50th birthday, she finds that out. And this is where she meets a very helpful, young, attractive, hot male nurse who introduces her to The Substance. From here, my expectations were blown out of the water as we meet Sue, played by Margaret Qualley, the younger, fitter, sexier, debatable version of Elizabeth.
Debatable.
Yeah. And they battle for time. They punish each other. They break the rules of the drug they're meant to be taking. Like, you do this, you do this, you do this. And they're like, no, we do what we want. This film is perfect for me. Like, the body horror is so good that there's times I actually want to look away. It's cringy, like, oh, awful effect, makes you like feel sick. Digital effects are pretty good as well. The film has a real strong opinion on beauty as we age and does that in a real great way of showing it from how it's perceived by yourself, other people, and from a younger viewpoint as well, how a younger person sees themselves. It's engaging. It hooked me. Every single character from the arsehole network exec Harvey right the way up to the camera guys analyzing the pump it up segment that I imagine we will talk about quite a bit. It's great. I love it. This is without a doubt. I have no idea what you think of this, but for me, this is a full 5 out of 5. I love this film.
Solid score. Well, more than solid score. It's a perfect score.
It is a perfect score for a perfect movie with perfect.
It's not going to get a perfect score from me at all. I really like this movie. I'm not going to lie about that. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I think this is one of the most modern horror movies that I've seen that does that A24 artsy style filmmaking, but makes it palatable in terms of its storytelling. Because it's the basic premise, you know what I mean? It doesn't try to be too otherworldly with what it's trying to achieve. Its messages aren't hidden; they're right in front of the camera as you're going through the movie itself. So, in terms of what I liked about the modernized version of this horror movie was the fact that it was totally in keeping with what the direction of horror seems to be going in, i.e., the A24 vibe that everybody seems to be picking up on at the moment. But it still kept the basic A to B premise of the 80s horror that I love so much, but just added a glossy sort of screening to it. I think Demi Moore's absolutely fantastic in this movie, and I want to give her a round of applause, really, just for having the sheer bollocks to just be so raw with her performance in a movie like this and show so much of herself at the age she is, and having been so she must have resonated so much with this script for her to take a role like this and be so raw with it. And I think it was incredible to watch her play this role. Did she win an award for this? I think she did she not?
She won a Golden Globe, was nominated for an Oscar, but didn't get it. And I think she should have done.
I think she should have done, but again, it's horror. It always gets snubbed at the Oscars. But I thought she was absolutely out of this world. Probably the best performance I've seen her give in her entire career, to be honest with you.
Best performance since G.I. Jane.
I'm not a big G.I. Jane guy. I'm more of a Demi Moore and Ghost kind of guy. Like that's my Demi Moore. I like Ghost a lot. But regardless, anyway, I really like this movie. My biggest gripe with it was the takeaway, was what I left once the credits started rolling. And that was just a sour taste I had from the ending. I don't like the ending to this movie at all. I think it lost itself in its seriousness, and it didn't know how to close out its story. I felt like it had an idea of what it wanted to be, and it did so well in the writing department and getting it to the end. But then by the time the end had come around, it just didn't know how to wrap it up in a neat enough bow, in my opinion. I didn't necessarily dislike the ending. My issue was it was so schlocky that it didn't fit the tone of everything else that had come before it. Had I seen that in another movie, in an 80s movie, I'd have been all over it and been like, this is fucking amazing. Look at how gory and over the top this is. But because of how everything before it wasn't necessarily so deep with that sort of B movie level kind of horror, when it did reach that point, it just tonally lost me a little bit. And it's disappointing, you know. I was just expecting something a little bit more kind of
refined,
yeah, because its message was so strong throughout. When it just went so daft with it, it just kind of upset me a little bit, because I was like, right, this is going to have something so profound with its ending that's going to make everybody sit back and be like, wow, that was the best movie I've ever seen. And I know a lot of people did have that reaction to it, but I can't justify giving those kind of comments when the ending was so silly. And it's a shame, really, because everything up until that point was masterful. The direction and everything, cinematography, it was beautiful. I really liked it. Performances across the board were spot on. But due to the ending alone, I'm just going to bring this down a mark, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Still solid scores across the board. Like,
still a very solid movie.
Yeah, really, really solid movie. I'm really excited to talk about this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll dive straight into it head first. Balls deep, as you
Balls
said
deep.
earlier.
That's the one.
This is the thing we pod monster, yeah, we're coming for you. With John and with Sean and Nicole can't brew. From the VHS gems to the spirits they drain. They're consuming the culture and numbing the brain. If it's weird, if it's wild, if it's crap house soul. The pod monster's hungry and he's losing control. It's movies 4 days where the film rap reigns. With Newman on the mic breaking down the frames. From the sci-fi thrills to the horror and the noir. He's taking every genre and he's raising up the bar. It's a deep dive journey through the silver screen haze. Yeah, we're lost in the magic of movies 4 days. Word. Movies 4 days. Word.
I love Newman's music for that show.
The crazy thing is, both Dewey Pod Monster and Newman, like, there is extended versions of those songs that I've sent to both of them to do with as they please. Go and check out Newman, go and check out John and Sean. Both of their shows are awesome. There's also another 10, 12, I've lost count. We have so many members of the You Run Podcast Network. All of those can be found at yourunpodcast.com. On there, you'll also find links to all of our socials, including Instagram, which is the one you need to go to for two reasons. One, it's where you get to vote on the movies that appear on this show. And two, all of my Instagram restrictions are removed. I can be the arsehole I once was all over again.
Welcome back. Until
honestly,
you get banned again.
It's been a year where, like, they've not
believe
shown,
it's been a year.
they've not shown my stuff to anyone beyond my followers unless one of my followers have shared it. So trying to get reach has been, like, just dreadful. Yeah, so I went from getting like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views per reel to like 600. And I'm going,
see, I find the Instagram algorithm absolutely bizarre because I don't get reach outside of my followers anywhere, which is wild, you know, because like you can go on that like professional dashboard thing, which tells you like what your growth is, what you're doing.
Yeah.
I understand anything it's trying to tell me, but like it doesn't go any further than the people that are actually following my page, which I suppose in a way is good because it's just people who are actually there to actually see it, so they're enjoying it, you know, and that's good. But at the same time, it's like, is that stumping the growth because it doesn't reach anybody outside of people that are actually aware of it? I don't know. Instagram's wild. I try not to think about it too much.
It's an enigma that I'd solved, and then I got restricted, and I'm like, oh, the amount of workarounds I tried to make it work. Like,
But you were pushing boundaries, man. You were pushing boundaries. You were testing your limit. You flew too close to the sun and you got burnt.
Fucking got massively burnt. But anyway, I am back. So go and follow us at Instagram. We're at You Run Podcast everywhere if you don't want to go to our website. But you should go to our website because also on there is the link to our Patreon. If you go and subscribe and you support us financially, you get access to additional episodes. A whole other show called You Run Extra that me and Mark are going to record after this, where this week or this month we're talking all about Star Wars. Hold on, I can help you.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're talking all about Star Wars. You also get early drops of this show. You get early drops of true crime. You get early drops of voices with the You Run podcast, and you get basically a 6 to 10 minute video every single day of the week, Monday through Friday.
Hey.
And it's all for less than a cup of coffee. Also, we've lost a couple of subscribers in the last couple of weeks. So I think it's tough out there. Like, times are tough.
January's hard.
January sucks. February sucks. So yeah, if you've got spare cash and you want to send it our way, go and do that. I think that's about it. So let's dive into this. I want to start with Demi Moore.
Yes. Mega MILF.
I'm going to say it now. Demi Moore has one of the most incredible bodies for a woman who is almost 60. And she stood in that mirror early in the film looking at herself and being disappointed. And I'm sat at home going, what? Like, you just need someone to give you a hug and tell you how great you look, because you look fucking amazing.
Yeah, she does. She looks great. I have fake boob beef. I don't like fake boobs. And like that was noticeable. I don't know where I'm going with this statement without
I,
getting slandered.
I'm gonna let you just dig your hole. I'll leave you to it.
No. She looks absolutely fantastic, and I never for one second want to criticize Demi Moore in this movie. She looked amazing in this film. And more props to her. You know, I just think the balls on her to do something like this and be so full frontal with it at her age is just incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would she not? She looks fantastic.
She really does. And it takes a lot to do full nudity like that. And this isn't a case of it's a sex scene where you get a flash of her boobs and it's all romantic and hot and sweaty. This is her stood in a brightly lit room in front of a mirror, literally looking at herself, going, "Oh God," and like turning and going, "Oh, I've got like flabby bits on my ass now." And like it's really like sad to watch like this poor woman looking at herself going, "Oh, I'm so old. I'm not what I once was." And like it's a really great observation, and Demi Moore does it so well because she's disappointed that she's aging, and she gets that across without saying a single fucking word.
Mm. Yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier is how I must feel someone like her. I hope to God she doesn't feel like this at all because, like you say, she does look incredible. But you can imagine somebody who has been such a figure of beauty throughout the entirety of her career must be now getting to an age where she is feeling those kind of things. And probably a long many years prior to even making this movie. But I don't know why she doubts herself. I think she looks fantastic. She really does.
Yeah. She said that she felt nervous
She'd say it
about.
now. I prefer her to Margot Qualley in this movie.
Yeah, I do as well. But that's because we're closer to Demi Moore's age.
No, you're closer to Demi Moore's age.
I am. Demi Moore said that she felt really nervous about doing the naked shots, and she felt very vulnerable being stood in front of the camera and a film crew and everything else. She's 59.
Mm.
Like you just wouldn't believe it. Like she's so good. Also, like even at the beginning when she's doing like the workout video, she's great in that. She's full of
Yep.
energy, full of life. I want to talk about Harvey. Like he is the world's biggest sleazeball.
And he plays it so well. And I like Dennis Quaid a lot. He's one of my like favorite actors of the 90s. You know, I really like Dennis Quaid, but he is fucking insufferable in this movie.
He's disgusting. Like from the first moment, he's like, "You're amazing." Like, oh, fuck off! And like when he's in she goes to the female toilet's out of order, so she goes in the men's toilet, and he comes in. He's like, "Get me someone younger." I don't give a fuck if it's her 50th birthday. Sack the bitch and find me someone who's young and hot, no older than 25. And I'm like, "Oh, you're such a scumbag, absolute scumbag."
Yeah, it's nasty. And like again, Demi Moore just portrays that scene so well with so little words. There's no dialogue in it, but you can see how broken she is. She's come out like so pumped and so happy after the performance she's given on that episode of the show. She's walking down the corridor, looking at these glamorous images of herself. She feels revitalized. And then as she walks out of the cubicle after he leaves, you can see how broken she is.
Yeah, absolutely shattered. Ray Liotta was actually cast in this, but he was cast and he was going to do it, and then unfortunately he passed away before he could film
this
any
is
of his
very
scenes.
much a Ray Liotta movie. Like that
Yeah,
role for him.
I think he'd have done really well in this. He's actually mentioned in the credits. There's a special thank you notes. There's a thank you note to Ray Liotta, who said he was going to do this. Who do you think Dennis Quaid based his performance on, having met the man multiple times?
If it's not Harvey Weinstein, I'm going to be shocked to my bones.
It is Harvey Weinstein, which is why he was called Harvey. And exactly, Dennis Quaid has said, like, yeah, I met Harvey. Like, this is Harvey. I am Harvey in this movie. Amazing.
That scene where he's eating the prawns, man. Fuck, you know.
I was prawn ready.
It was disgusting. It was absolutely rank. And it was like the close-up scenes of him chewing and his fingers in the garlic. Like, of all the body horror in this movie, I think this scene in particular is the one that stuck with me the most. It was vile.
It's proper disgusting. I'll tell you what looks really good in this is the car crash. So Demi Moore comes out of work, really depressed, gets in a car. She's driving. She's not really paying attention. She ends up in a car crash. The effects for that look amazing, like the car flipping up and the glass and like seeing her, and you can actually see it's Demi. I don't know how they done it, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, yeah, really, really good. To be honest with you, though, visual effects throughout the board on this are on point, and I'm not talking practically. I just mean like the actual CGI stuff that's used throughout looks really, really good. That scene at the end where she like crawls onto the star and the Hollywood Walk of Fame thing looked fucking brilliant, man. But we'll
Yeah,
get
and
to that
again,
later.
yeah, because that's a full circle because it starts with the star, which I thought's a really cool way to start, and then ends with the star.
Yeah, it was like that final scene as it was playing, and it's like literally mirror image of the burger and the ketchup all over the star and stuff. Like that was really, really cool.
Really, really, really clever. Um, she meets this doctor who gives her the flash drive for the substance, and she goes home and she's not going to do it, and then she ends up doing it. There's a bit of back and forth with her. Do I do it? No, I don't need it. I'll throw it away. Then she gets given her leaving gift, which is a fucking book, which we find out later. They're just like, no, I'm going to do it. She calls the number and they're like, yeah, you need to go to this location. And she gets a letter saying she needs to go to this location and pick up the substance. I'm going to say it now. The instructions for the substance are incredibly vague.
Incredibly vague. Yeah, I did think that as well. Like this was like IKEA furniture level vague. There was fucking
Unless she flips,
not much substance to it at all. Let's be honest.
unless she flips the cards and there was a step-by-step guide. If they sent me that, I wouldn't be using the substance because I wouldn't know how to do it.
No, but she's rolling it up like she's a proper bona fide smackhead, injecting it into her and tapping her wrist to get the veins out. I'm like, you've either done this before or we're missing something on screen.
She is an Oscar-winning Hollywood actress in this movie. She's probably done it multiple times before.
I don't know. Heroin's a dangerous drug, man. I don't think it's one of those things you just dip your toe into.
No, ask Kurt Cobain. Like he was a big fan of that drug. Didn't do it.
Well, it didn't too well for him, did it?
Didn't.
One thing I wouldn't, I don't know if this is in the movie and I just missed it or not, but like, what's the price of this?
They never say. They never mention whether she's charged for it, whether it's free, whether it's some sort of experiment, which we'll talk about it later in the movie, but like leads me on to I want more of these. Give me more of these with other celebrities and give me backstory on what the substance is and who's making it and why. I want that story.
Just like drip feed bits into it into each sequel. I could see that working. Yeah, I wouldn't want this movie to dive directly into a sequel that gives us everything, but I would like it to be The Substance 2 and it be like a male version this time.
Brad Pitt.
Something like that. I mean, Brad Pitt, no, because Brad Pitt still looks fucking amazing.
You take Brad Pitt and then you put Joe Keery as his younger self. I'm in for that movie all day long.
Something like that, yeah. But then this time, give us maybe like 10% more information about the company that's doing it, and then on a sequel, give us a little bit more before, like maybe we get to like the third or the fourth, and then go full blown. This is the substance. This is how it started. This is everything, and then just call it a wrap on that.
And also show us like do the next one and show people using it in the proper balance, and then something goes wrong where they can't switch. As opposed to what it is in this movie, make it it's very harmonious. They've been doing it for fucking years and everything's fine, but then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Give me that story.
Get Every delivering the fucking substance gear.
Honestly, if I was having the substance, I would not want to go to that dingy fucking warehouse and pick it up every week. That would be a major inconvenience.
Massively, massively. Yeah, it's dodgy. It's dodgy going down them weird little corridors that she goes to pick it up.
Yeah, the transformation is something else like that. Really the back splitting and that is disgusting.
Proper Cronenberg stuff.
Yeah, really, really bad. Also, the director of this, so you know the shot where you see her inject, they actually injected into real skin. No one wanted to do it, so the director done it herself.
Really?
Yeah, director's like, Dad, just do it to me. It's fine.
With actual green shit, or just like I'm assuming they didn't pump it. They just
but they actually put the needle in her arm, and everyone's like, do you know what? We're not really down for that. She's like, oh, just do it. I'll do it. Get out of the way.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with needles. I would be okay with that.
I don't think I would. Like, I think the full transformation is amazing, and the emergence of Sue out of like where Sue comes out and she stands in the mirror, and this whole thing about they are one.
Mhm.
Like, I really struggle with that concept because they're so different, not just in appearance but personality as well.
That's one of the issues I had as well, is because when the split does happen, you don't feel like it's Demi Moore's consciousness in Sue's body.
Because
They
it's
feel
not.
very is it not?
No, she's effectively a younger clone, and they swap places every week.
So what's the fucking benefit for Demi Moore in this situation then?
Uh,
Like,
the-
what's Elizabeth Sparkle's benefit from it? Because she's not visually viewing the world
sh-
through Sue's eyes.
no, she's living her goals and aspirations vicariously through her by being able to see her succeed, very much in the same way that you'd live out your dreams through your children. Like if you failed to become, I don't know, a boxer, and then your child went on to be a world heavyweight boxer, you would live that dream through them. It's that kind of relationship.
You see, I think that's shit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I didn't get that message from it. I just thought it was a little bit of poor writing on that point. I thought the transition period was causing confusion and blurred lines. I didn't realize there were two separate entities, and now I'm even more annoyed. Like I thought it was Demi Moore just having a younger body,
No,
but then the
no, no, no.
confusion of who she was and her identity along the way was what was causing the issues.
No, they're two separate entities completely.
Bullshit.
Do you know what is bullshit? Margaret Qualley's boobs are prosthetics.
Proper bullshit. Yeah, they look CGI to death, man.
No, they're not CGIs. They're actually prosthetics made by French makeup artist Pierre-Olivier Passin, who
But
took
why? What's the point?
I don't know. He took 3 months to. The thing is, Margaret Qualley is a young woman in her 20s. She has probably pristine boobs, but wouldn't show them and had prosthetics made. Demi Moore is 59 years old and went, there you go, there's my boobs. Happy days.
Yeah, they did. They looked off. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm
Nipples
no
were too
expert. Do you know what I mean? I don't have a variety to compare to, but I'm just saying from the experience I've had, they didn't look right.
No, they didn't. Let's talk about Sue taking more. So the deal with the substances is every 7 days you switch. So you leave the carcass of the So in the first switch, she leaves the carcass of Demi Moore on the bathroom floor, and then after a week, plugs herself back in, and they switch. And Demi Moore wakes up. First week, absolutely fine. Second week, she starts taking more time, and this
See,
is where,
already this movie's falling apart from me
why.
because you've told me they're two separate entities now. Then how the fuck does Sue even know what the substance is and how this procedure even needs to unfold? If anything, she's almost in essence a newborn baby in that sense. She's just coming to this world out the back of Demi Moore's back, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yeah, I just need to plug you in and put you in this cupboard."
See, I don't know if there's an element of like crossover of memories or stuff, but they are definitely two separate people doing their own separate things. Demi Moore's not aware of what Sue is doing, which is why when they switch,
The
Demi
house
Moore's
is fucked and shit, and yeah.
it's why, like, when they switch, Demi Moore's like, for fuck's sake, why have you done this? You fucked up my finger. And then when they switch back, as Sue's like, why the fuck have you trashed my house? Why is there chicken everywhere? Like, they're definitely two different people. But Sue taking additional time, I thought, was the way they do that. It's a really clever way of introducing this gradual build of body horror.
Yeah, from that standpoint, but I'm just really stuck in limbo now, fixating on the story element of it, of them being two separate people. I just can't understand the justification from Elizabeth to even want to do this. She's basically putting herself to sleep for 7 days, every other 7 days. Because if she's not getting the experience from it or the visual aid of it, like, what is the point of her doing this?
As someone who is much older than you, I would take a 7-day nap and let a younger me go and fucking live a life for a week without hesitation. But
the immediate time she starts fucking getting crooked granny finger, you'd be like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, that would be when the thing is, like, I watched this release and I said, like, the first time I got like dodgy finger, I could live with dodgy finger, but I would be leaving a detailed fucking note. of if you do that to me again, the next time we switch, you're done. This is over. Do not fuck me over again.
I just think that's a massive oversight to have that not be. It just serves no purpose for me in terms of the plot. I don't understand why for her character to do this if she's not. For me, all I thought it was she was just getting a younger body. It was
No.
her consciousness inside a younger body, but she had to regenerate every other 7 days. And that works for me. That works. And that's why I was like, oh, this is fucking brilliant. And I thought because of everything that was going on and then the stealing of time and bits like that, that was what was causing the confusion and the brain fog between the two of them from snapping back and forth. I think I've written a better version of this movie, and I'm going to stick to this is how it's supposed to be. Because for me, at the moment, the fact that they're two different entities completely with different consciousnesses is wild, and I just don't see the point in it and why Elizabeth would do that in the first place.
But you'll understand when we'll review this movie again in 10 years' time, and you'll be like, I get it.
No, because I wouldn't. There is no point of me that would give up more of my own time to benefit somebody else. And that's not because I'm a selfish person, but it's because why would you? Why would you shorten your own lifespan in order to aid somebody else who's not, let's be honest, is not even fucking real? That's like giving up your own time for a Tamagotchi.
Which I done for a prolonged period
Yeah, all right,
of time.
yeah, okay. I've done the same thing as well. But all right, no, apart from right, that was a really poor analogy. You know what I'm saying, though.
I like the fact that Sue obviously gets her old job. Like Sue replaces her and becomes the new like morning workout girl. That pump it up scene is something else. One, it's
right. Okay, right. Before you go on, that's my point. You've just said it there. Sue sees the article,
yeah,
and she's pissed off by the article because it's a replacement of Elizabeth.
Maybe
she's like annoyed by it and she's bitter by it. She's like, oh, yeah. And then she gets the idea and the brainwave to go and then apply for it herself as this younger version.
Maybe I've got it wrong, but I view them as two different people. Maybe there is a crossover, but I don't see how that works because there's a point later in the movie where they're both fucking awake.
Yeah, that's because she terminated her, though. 90% terminated her.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fact that she didn't fully commit was what caused the split like that, the 2 egg splitting. But I do think they're one entity, barring that scene and then the split because of the partial termination. Yeah. I don't know. So, right, someone's going to have to call in and give some clarity to this.
Call in. Director, if you are listening, Demi Moore, obviously you listen every week. Please call in and let us. Could you imagine how fucking wild it would be if Demi Moore called in next week?
I know she keeps nagging to come on the show, but I just can't think of anything for her to come on for.
No, exactly. Especially not this episode. Like this is not the one. But yeah, that pump it up scene is actually a direct homage to Eric Prince, "Call on Me" music video, including costumes, choreography, and shot composition. It's if you play them side by side, Reel coming next week to Instagram. It's literally like you can do. So with that pump it up, you can play "Call on Me" over it and it works perfectly.
Yeah, that's cool. I look forward to the Reel.
Yeah. Also, I've got to say, I would watch that workout show every week without fail.
So you're just a pervert, man. You're a pervert.
A lot of perverts in here.
Yeah, no, it's not my thing. It's not my thing. I don't know. Like, there was a lot of scenes like that where they were like portraying it to be like lustful and sexual, and I was just like, I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. I was just like, I don't get it. Like, I know obviously it was part of the plot and the story, but the emphasis on it and stuff like that, I was like, it's a little bit much, man.
It was, but I think it was deliberately a little bit much. So I watched this with Lisa, and when it got to like this scene, and they do the bit where she thinks so it's popped out of her ass, and it has.
Yeah.
Like they do that bit, and like when it got to that, Lisa's like, "Are you enjoying this movie?" I'm like, "This movie's amazing." Every time I've looked up, it's either Demi Moore's tits or this woman's ass. I was like, yeah, it's a really good movie. You should
that scene in particular, though, that you were talking about, where the thing pops out of her ass and then she moves it up to her belly button and then sticks her hand in and pulls it out.
Yeah.
Effects work on that were fucking through the roof. They were so cool. But was that scene real, or was that like a anti-Matrix trip dream?
No idea. I liked it, but couldn't explain it because
There was
when
a
I was
few
watching,
scenes like that where they incorporated a couple of scenes. You got that one there with Sue, and there was another one later on with Elizabeth's character, and I can't remember what the scene was in particular. But then they wake up in the room, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're showing us a bit of an insight to what their conscience is just playing out
yeah,
while
as
they're sort
as
of
they're switching.
as a well, it was more like the rest mode thing that I was going for.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, but yeah. So Demi Moore gets heavily prosthetic throughout this movie. The prosthetics they use, this is a low budget movie, and they used a lot of lighting. And the prosthetics they used didn't last very long. For the shortest prosthetic was 6 hours. For the longest was 9 hours. They had a maximum shoot time of 2 hours per prosthetic for Demi Moore.
Oh, really?
So
But I mean,
9
she's a
hours.
seasoned professional, man. I can imagine you usually get one take with her anyway.
You say that, but you imagine 9 hours in prosthetic for 2 hours shooting to then take it all off again. I'd be so fucked off, knowing full well I'm coming in tomorrow to sit there for another 9 hours and have it put back on again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, people obviously always underestimate actors and say, oh, they get paid too much money. But I don't think they do for some of the stuff that they do,
No.
especially with movies like this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I say that, although today I've been out in the freezing cold to the point where I can't feel my fingertips for 9 hours. So maybe she has got it a little bit easier than I have.
I want to talk about Demi Moore and her cooking in this and the eating and just the disgusting way that she lives. Like
Yeah.
All of it's just vile, especially when she's like full witch mode.
It was
And
a chicken. It was a chicken fisting scene that got me. The raw chicken fisting scene as well.
When she's watching Sue on the news, Sue's like, "Yeah, well, I didn't really watch Elizabeth, but my mum did." She's like, "Your mum did? I'll show you." And she's like fisting a chicken, getting really aggressive. I'm like, this is dark, but I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I like that whole Bunny Boiler aspect of her character. She's all grey and she's really de-aged by this point. Still very clearly much herself, but very de-aged, and she just absolutely just annihilates a flat with cooking and gets very obsessive over the cooking and just I don't even know whether she eats any of it, to be honest with you. Oh, it's a chicken bone she pulls out of her belly button, like a full chicken thigh. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I like the way that you see the rise of Sue and the mass decline of Elizabeth paralleling each other as the plot progresses. That was a really interesting side for it because it was more like they say with the substances, everything you give, it takes a week and things like that. But it was like not just in terms of aging and life, but also in the sense of progression and mentality. And it was a really cool parallel to throw the rise and fall of each character as it was going, and this scene highlighted that perfectly for me.
Yeah, I really like the complete polar opposites of what's happening. So Elizabeth has she's basically become a really old lady. The scene where she has to do her knee, where her knee locks up.
Oh yeah,
and she has to snap it back into place. Like that's awful. But this sort of her aging and becoming this old lady, and she's obsessed with cooking, and she doesn't want anyone to see her, so she's like putting newspapers on the window and smearing it on with chicken fat. And then on the flip side of that, Sue's gone from having this morning dance show to being moved to prime time to being you're going to host the New Year's Eve show, which is the biggest event the network's ever going to do. It's really interesting to, and it's true. Like as you are younger, your opportunities are so many, and if you hit them all right, you will just go on a trajectory that's unstoppable. And when you get older, your opportunities get less and you take up stupid hobbies that occupy your time, like podcasting.
Yes.
Or cooking.
Videotapes.
Exactly that. This film is inspired by Oscar Wilde's a portrait of, it says in my notes, it says a picture of Dorian Gray, but I remember it as a portrait of Dorian Gray, which is a book. I don't know if anyone's read. Have you read it?
No, my only experience with Dorian Gray is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, so the story of Dorian Gray is he does a deal with a witch that every year his portrait ages, but he doesn't. and that's the deal as long as he doesn't look on the picture. And if he looks on the picture, they swap places. He
Yeah.
ages, the picture goes young again. So this story is an adaptation of that using modern technology, which I thought was cool.
Very cool.
I want to talk about Terminate and then them both being awake, because when she tried to terminate her and then like went, oh no, this is after she's been like full monstrous granny and dragged her through the apartment by her foot, which was scary as fuck.
Yeah, the effects on her look fantastic at this point as well. The practical effects makeup are outstanding. She looks really, really good. And the weird thing is you can still tell it's Demi Moore underneath it all, which is even weirder. I do like this full battle sequence between the two of them. I like how it comes about where she's being constantly draining Demi Moore's character of the stabilizer for 3 months. I think we're at a 3-month mark at this point. I was like, shit, how long can this go on for? What state is Demi Moore in at this point 3 months later? Well, we find out. Because the stabilizer she's trying to pull out is like black goo. And they ring the substance helpline, which is a really cool thing that they do throughout this movie, where they're battling each other, where they're ringing this helpline, and both of them are just tittle-tattling on each other. It's really cool.
The guy on the end of the helpline is the customer service level that I deliver at work.
But again, that just reaffirms my thing, though, because he's constantly saying, you are one. You are the same. You are the same person. This is something you need to find level ground on. So anyway, yeah. So like, and she runs out of the stabilizer, and I like the way that they say the only way this is going to work is if you switch, because if you switch back again, the stabilizer will regenerate within the matrix, and then you can keep continuing doing what you're doing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But when she comes around and Demi Moore is just there, fully like saggy bangers, crippled granny.
They're not even saggy, they're down by her knees.
Yeah, it was a tough wank, I'll be honest. I'm joking.
I don't know why you struggled. I was fine.
Why are we like we are?
I don't know. But yeah, her in this scene where she calls the hotlines that if you want to end it, let us know. She's like, yes, I do. And they like, she has to go then pick up the Terminate fucking injection, which is black goo, stabs her in the heart, almost done all of it, and then stops. Like, no, I really need you now because I can never go outside again.
Yeah.
And then when she comes to, and like they have this moment where they stare at each other, it's like Sue's almost got a, oh fuck, I'm in so much trouble. And then she looks down and sees the like Terminate fucking injection, and then it turns into a scene from John Wick. It's like,
it's cool as shit though, man. It's cool as shit. And Sue is like the Terminator.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She's full level strength. When she starts smashing her head against that mirror, it's brutal. But the best thing for me was when they get to like the living room before she fully KOs her, and she just kicks her right across the room. She just flies like she's been hit by a wrecking ball, just lands through the glass table, and then just continues to beat the living shit out of her until she dies.
Yeah. And when she done that, I'm looking at her going, you fucking idiot. Like, you're fucked now. You need her to stay alive. And this is where it all goes to shit for Sue. And teeth falling out. Oh, man.
That was the most horrifying thing in this entire movie. i've had this nightmare like loads of times. Do you know where you have those weird dreams where you literally this scene? I didn't like this. It made me feel really uncomfortable. I didn't like it at all. I was like, oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you probably 6 months ago, I got like Jack whacked me in the front of my mouth, and my front tooth started getting really wobbly, and I was really panicked that my front tooth was going to fall out. Like, that is honestly, that's like, oh fuck no. Like, that can't happen.
It's weird, isn't it? And you must have had those like fever dreams as well. Like everybody's had the fever dream about teeth falling out. And I don't care if you tell me you haven't. I know you have, because it's the most trippy thing ever. And you wake up and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Also, the inspiration from that was The Fly. The
Yes.
director loves The Fly, which I thought was amazing. Sue decides to inject herself with the activator as she's falling apart. She's like, fuck, well, I need to do something. So I'll split me and I'll have a younger version of me and I'll be the old hag in the bathroom. And it does not go to plan. Like I don't know what she becomes. She kind of becomes like half Elizabeth, half Sue, half Quasimodo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, but she's fucking disgusting. And she like manhandles herself into this dress and then sticks like a cutout of the picture of Elizabeth Sparkle.
That was brilliant. That was so good. Like, I don't like this ending at all. I think it just lost itself, to be honest with you. But I do. I thought that scene was really good, and I love that Demi Moore's like hanging out the back of this like hunchback thing, still looking as she did as Elizabeth Sparkle.
Yeah,
and I like when she does the substance thing, and it's like a one-time use only. And the eyeball just starts replicating like crazy in her eye. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be fucking wild now. And it was. Granted, it was very wild. But that scene, you're right. That scene where she sticks the portrait we've been seeing throughout the entirety of the movie in various different fashions, whether it's been smashed with a pickaxe or thrown something up by the original Lizzie Sparkle. When she cuts it out of the portrait and like super glues it to her face, I was like, oh, that is wild. And then she puts lipstick on it, like that scene from Family Guy. It's like, you dirty bitch.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I like, let's talk about the end showcase. I put it in my notes just as end showcase. I really like this where she turns up at the event and like the security lets her and she gets on the stage and she goes to start talking, and then like the Demi Moore thing falls off, and then the crowd just go like original Universal monsters and go, oh my god, it's a monster, kill it. Like, it's wild.
I have real issues with this ending as a whole, really, because like the whole event is picked up like it's some sort of Tonight with Jules Holland's Hootenanny, if you will. That's what the UK version is of our big New Year's event. I don't know what the American one is, where you all watch the ball drop that you always see on like the Friends episodes and shit. But here we have Jules Holland's Hootenanny, and that's kind of what my takeaway was from it. This is weird. It's a weird setup, right? All the dancers and masquerade girls are topless. There are children in the audience for this thing, and they're all just topless, like something out of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I'm like, why? Like, why are you doing this now? Are you just thinking, I don't know, let's just throw all this shit at the wall and hope it sticks for the ending?
Do you know why they done it? Because people like me sat at home.
I like your boobs.
I know, but man, like when you're pulling shit apart and you're trying to like talk about something on this level like we are, for me, that stood out to me. I was like, there's children in the audience. I've never watched a late night television show that's advertised on billboards throughout the entirety of a city to then feature cabaret girls completely topless on primetime TV. So why is it now a thing here?
I know the BBC really need to up their game. Like, I want Jules Holland next year to have topless cabaret girls.
I mean, I had to stay up late and watch Eurotrash to get that kind of nudity. Do you know? I don't get it. It didn't fit for me. And I was like, it was simple things like that with this ending that just stood out to me, that I'm like, this is just losing itself. I can feel it like unwinding massively because they don't know how to wrap this up.
Yeah.
And they don't. And it showcases perfectly in the ending.
All that blood that they spray into the audience, that was done through a high pressure hose that was put through the effectively dummy version of Sue that they'd made. So that was a mannequin that had the hose in it. Really difficult to control. The special effects guys had concerns over safety. So again, the director, Caroline Forget, went, just get out of the way. I'll do it. She worked the hose for that final scene. I've got some behind the scenes shots where she literally, like, you see her just send health and safety away. She's like, get out of the way, turn it on. And she just fucking just demolished, like the scenes where the blood hits people like close up and sends them flying. When you see the behind the scenes, it's just a high pressure hose filled with fake blood that she's just bodying people with in the front row. Like, cool. 36,000 gallons of blood were used in that sequence.
Yeah, and it felt to me like they were going for a record. Do you know, there was like, we need to make a statement here. Let's just do this. And it's like, I can see the scale and the size of this creature you've created. It doesn't hold that volume of blood. So like,
No,
let's just cut this shit now.
um,
Um,
this was originally going to be a Universal film. Universal were going to distribute this. After they saw the ending, they demanded that it was recut and reshot because they didn't want to stream it. They didn't want to put it into theaters. The director went, "No, not changing it. Fuck you." And they went, "Well, we're not going to do it then." She went, "Okay, fine." She then took it to Cannes Film Festival. It got picked up by Mubi, where it became the most successful movie Mubi had ever had. Off a $17 million budget, it made $77 million worldwide, which outstripped anything Universal done that year.
Brilliant.
I thought that was like some Universal exec got the biggest bollocking when this hit those sort of numbers.
I mean, that's the thing with stuff like that. Like, imagine if they'd have had Universal's backing and they'd have plowed a load of money into advertising. Because I remember this coming out quietly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the only sort of acknowledgement I had of it was through the reputation of people seeing it at Cannes and being like, "This is amazing. You know, you should watch The Substance." But it weren't advertised. Like, we didn't get a full blown TV spot trailer like a lot of other movies did. And I just can't help but think that had this had more of a reckoning with its advertisement, it would have been probably a lot bigger than 77 million, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would have been well into the hundreds, like well over 100 million easily. Like, you think just the ad that they play for The Substance when she puts that fire stick in, just play that ad as your trailer, like with Universal's backing, like you must see The Substance with The Substance advert. People would have flocked to the cinema to see this.
But this is it. Like, advertising is so simple in that perspective. Like, all you have to do is have an official The Substance, this thing, do you know, like, and not even feature anything regarding the movie, but like a substance, like an advertisement, like a proper pharmaceutical advertisement as The Substance. But then have like the last 10 seconds of just chaos cutscenes of like a load of random montage of crazy shit that happened throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Demi Moore, Margot Qualley, The Substance, you know, and you're done.
Exactly.
You're in.
Yeah, I do. We'll go back to it. I like the full circle moment where the body kind of explodes and we get this almost like jellyfish with Demi Moore's head on it, crawls out of the studio all the way back down to her Hollywood star where she melts and then gets washed away by the cleaner in the morning, and Hollywood just carries on like nothing's happened.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was very cool, full circle moment. I do want to say one thing that I did like about the ending is when she gets her head chopped off on the stage and then like another head grows back. And that's one of the things, like, there is a potential there for this to be a lot cooler and a lot more rounded off than just let's just spray a load of blood everywhere. I just don't feel like the message of the story hit home with its ending. And I think it prioritized over the top blood and gore and violence over how grounded the story actually was, in my opinion. And that's one of the things that let me down about this movie, because everything up until that point I really liked. And again, in a different type of movie, this ending would have been phenomenal to me. You know me as a person who loves the 80s over the top body horror, gore, schlocky, stupid stuff. You know, like, take that ending out and put it on something that's got nothing in it up until that point, and I'm all over it, you know. But in this movie, considering it's not usually my wheelhouse to check out films like this, when it came about, the ending just didn't stick for me. It just didn't land where I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I think this is killer start to finish. I don't think there's a single second that I was not interested. It's the best body horror we've had for decades. Like, this is the best body horror since the late 80s / early 90s. It covers a lot of really important topics as well, about like body dysmorphia and how you feel about your own skin. And it also is a real fucking shine a light on the arseholes of Hollywood and how they treat aging actresses. Like, I really like that about it. I think the messaging in this is really, really good. It's got a really basic underlying message of you should just be happy in your own skin. Just be happy with what you have. And I think Demi Moore's performance makes that believable.
I would
'Cause
struggle to see a different actress portray something like this. I think because of who she is and the career she's had, I don't think anybody else would have suited this role and would have held as much impact as what she did with her performance here.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I've watched this a few times since it's come out. I'll watch it again. Like I said earlier, I want more stories of The Substance. There's so much scope to have fun with this. Like, do like a fucking, I don't know, like Alcoholics Anonymous, but like for the older version of The Substance people, where they've got a fucking help self support group,
Mm.
and they all go and sit there and talk about how their younger versions are robbing them parts of them, and they're coming up with ideas to stop that happening. Like alternating weeks are like one old person goes and checks on the young person to check she does the switch. Like all that sort of stuff. Like there's so much scope here. I really like it. It's still a 5 out of 5. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely like top of my list for things for you to go and watch.
Yeah, solid. Yeah, you're right to stick to your guns, man. And it's good that you have that kind of love and passion for a movie like this because I think it warrants it, you know. And just for me, it just missed that mark at the end. I'm really confused now with dropping my score down from what it was based on what your theory is on the movie. And if it turns out that your theory of them being two separate entities is correct, that would massively hinder my score. I'm not going to do that now, and I'm not going to change it because I feel like you're not hard facts on whether that's right. That's just
No, I'm
your
not.
interpretation. No, that's what I mean. If you were coming at me and saying no, it's factual, the two different entities, I'd be like, yeah, this is dog shit. This is going down. This is going down to a 2.5. But the fact that you're just theorizing the same way I am, I'm going to stick with my guns and say it's a 4 out of 5. I would love for people to call in who do have the knowledge on what this actually is. I'm sure me and Scott ourselves will probably go off and do our own research after the episode. Now we've had the conversation, but if it does turn out to be that and it is two separate things, that just throws in a lot of plot holes and things for me that just don't make sense. So as I'm staying with my own narrative of they are the same person, and the confusion between the two of them is what's causing the issues, as opposed to actually being two separate entities. Because if that's the case, it doesn't make any sense. But I think this is a phenomenal movie. I think Demi Moore has given the performance of her entire career here with The Substance.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a 4 out of 5. And again, I think it warrants a 5 out of 5. I just can't justify giving it that because I was so let down by the ending.
Yeah, and I get that. And if you are out there and you do know, please call in. You can do that by leaving us a voicemail. You send an audio DM on X or on Instagram, or record a video on TikTok and tag us, which transitions us lovely into people who've done that. And we have quite a few this week. So we're just going to rock straight into them.
So I'm listening to Deep Sea episode. It's really cool so far. And you mentioned them horrible cardboardy snap cases with physical media. I've got a lot of physical media, and I've got probably 10 to 15 of those cases, and I absolutely hate them. They don't keep very nice. They just fade so badly, and they're just horrendous things. And I'm actively trying to swap them out as quick as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of stuff like that. Especially if you're a physical media collector, you will find that sun fading is the worst, man.
Dark room, no windows, don't have that issue.
I have the same thing here. I do have a window in the door. When I'm in here, the blinds usually close because of the atmosphere. However, during the day when I'm out, I can't close a blind from the outside. So what I did was I blacked out the windows. You can go to Halfords and you can get like that window tint and shit.
Yeah.
And I did it on the inside and the outside to block out any sort of sun damage, just to protect my collection, really. Because when I do buy a lot of tapes and stuff from wherever I get my sources from, I'm not going to tell you because you'll all nick my gear. But they sometimes come really, really sun damaged. I got a couple of tapes off Beck the other day, which I'm not going to slag her off for. It was fantastic that she picked these up along the way and she got them to me. But I had noticed that spine on, they've been sat on someone's shelf, probably directly in front of a window, and the sun has just bleached the shit out of the spines.
Yeah.
And it's hard, you know, when you're collecting stuff that's so old, 9 times out of 10, people don't necessarily think, oh, I better not keep that near a window because
Yeah,
it's going to bleach the spine. But it does really, really massively affect your stuff. So if you have collections and you have things that you're really precious about, put it in a box, stick it in a dark place, and only bring it out when you need to.
keep it out of sun. Treat it like a mogwai. Don't get it wet and don't get it in sunlight.
Exactly that.
What else we got?
So, with Mac's revelation that Jaws is the better movie, as we all know, I'm kind of going to agree with him and maybe say that Deep Blue Sea may be the better shark movie. I see his point completely, and he may just be right.
That just proves the stubbornness of you, Dave. That just absolutely epitomizes your stubbornness to go against me to the point that you've now heard me say that Jaws is a better movie, but Deep Blue Sea is a shark movie, is a better movie. You're like, yeah, you are actually right. But the fact that you've just done this for what, 3, maybe 4 years now, just come at me every week saying Deep Blue Sea shit just to annoy me.
He never said it was shit. He just said it wasn't as good as Jaws, and he still maintains
I don't know.
that.
There's been moments where I've received comments and reels from Dave where he's just been like, dog shit movie.
Right, let's keep rolling through them.
I got one for you for your little game. First off, I freaking love it. Shalloween, where Mickey Myers goes around killing people that have guys that have bigger dicks than he and women with big tits only. If he sees like he'll save somebody that maybe say has like a micro penis or one with a flat chest, he'll spare them.
I like that. Shalloween, which is fun. We're both safe. Like micro penis team, we're all right.
You speak for yourself, dude.
We need to sort that game coming back as well. I'll give you notice so we can.
I was going to say, yeah, give me notice so I can plan. I say I'm going to do a lot of things on this show and then forget immediately the day after.
You do. The only time you remember is when I put it on my story and I tag you like, oh fuck, I need to do that.
I did remember about the Deep Blue Sea one where I said I was going to do the omelette thing, and then I watched for his recipe. There is no recipe to work from.
No.
I did what he said, and I put the eggs in, and then it ended. And I was like, oh, okay, right. Now what do I do?
So, just listen to 28 years later, and I have to say I agree with absolutely everything Scott said. My 3-word review wasn't necessarily based around the father's actions and the adultery. It was more the fact he didn't go after his son and wife once he realised they were fucking missing. It's like your 10-year-old son's gone missing with your ill wife in a zombie apocalypse, and you stay on the fucking island. What a cunt. As far as Jimmy Savile goes, Mark, I completely understand where you're coming from, but I see your point 100%, and you were right. And having watched the 28 years later Bone Temple, my view has softened slightly on that, but I would still be thinking it's, same as Scott, it's all about getting people talking about it, and I just think, what if there happened to be a victim in the audience with no warning to see that at the end? It's shocking, and there's no excuse for it, in my opinion. Great episode. Latest, guys.
Also, I'm going to agree with Dave. I have now watched the Bone Temple, and what they do with Jimmy has made me feel a little bit better about it.
I'm desperate to see it. I haven't had the chance yet.
You need to.
Yeah, I really am. And we're not diving into that conversation again tonight.
No, we're not. Let's keep moving on before we have another round.
One more point, based around Zombie Baby. As we saw in previous installments of this franchise, one drip of blood into the eyeball will turn you almost instantly. So if they're now trying to expect us that a tube leading directly into a baby with blood from the mother doesn't, just because it has a placenta, it's just ludicrous, and we're not that stupid. Follow your own law. It's not hard.
I agree.
I'm not a biology expert, so I'm not going to pass comment on regarding the science behind it.
Okay.
But I have delivered a baby, and it is a messy affair.
You have delivered a baby. And still to this day, like, you come on this show, you can barely prepare to do the basics that you've got to do. But on the flip side of that, you have hand delivered a living human being into the world.
I have delivered a human being into this world, unaided,
boggles my mind. How many power tools did you have on standby?
I'm there with my tool belt on.
This is exactly how I picture it. Like you're bare chested because you're the man,
Yep.
and you're literally there in a pair of pants and a tool belt, and you've got a Stanley knife, you've got a pair of snips, you've got a hacksaw just in case. Like you're properly tooled up. Couple of
Yeah.
screws and a staple gun just in case there's a problem.
It was a wild experience, man. I'll be honest with you. It was a wild experience. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I did it though. I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
You did. We've got something really special. So, me and Newman, Movies for Days, quite often make just random shit and send it to each other. And he sent us one that I don't even know. It's an advert. I'm just going to play it. It's not an advert for a show, but it's an advert for somewhere I think Mark would want to go.
Howdy, y'all. Has your hustle bustle workaday life robbed you of the natural splendor of the great outdoors? Do you long to get away from the pollution, the traffic, the noise, and the strife of big city living? Has it been far too long since your asshole was penetrated by something other than your own finger? Then pull on some boots, get you some Vaseline, and head on down to Hopalong Newman's Pony Ranch and Dildo Emporium. At this one-of-a-kind dude ranch, you'll find a renewed connection to the inner peace found by sliding in the saddle, having a long bouncy ride, and forgetting your troubles with a big, beautiful animal between your legs. And before hitting the old dusty trail, stop on by to our world-famous gift shop and have a gander at our immaculate collection of artisan dildos. We carry all shapes and sizes for the cowpoke on the go, from fancy imported models like the French Prostate Tickler to the more power-bottom beauties like the Ass Invader 9000. You can put your faith in our expert dong tenders to select the perfect toy to bring you joy. So don't spend another minute eyeballing the handle of your toothbrush with curious lust. Get yourself down to Hopalong Newman's Pony Ranch and Dildo Emporium today. Hopalong Newman's Pony Ranch and Dildo Emporium. Giddy up, then get stuffed.
Oh my god, that is fucking absolutely mega. Do you know what I got from that was just a House of 1,000 Corpses? That was an entire cutaway segment from a Rob Zombie movie. You should bin off all of the promo for network members and just have Newman come on every week with a different fucking advertisement campaign for something absolutely pure nonsense, because I would eat that shit up.
Honestly, that one had me crying when he said
Amazing. Well done,
Absolutely.
sir. That was brilliant.
The message I sent him back was, "I can't breathe. That is the funniest shit you ever sent me." Speaking of funny shit, we're going to play a game, which I had a couple of options with this. I had the make Mark very uncomfortable, or just make Mark very confused. And you'll be pleased to know that I went with just make you very confused. As we play that game, what's my age again? It's really simple. I'm going to show you a picture of a celebrity, and you are going to guess their age, and you're going to guess their age within 5 years.
Right, okay.
So if you're out of 5 years, you get it wrong. We're going to start
Not
with
very
one.
much in with the celebrity thing though. Like is this going to be like loads of Kardashians and shit?
No. Every single celebrity on this list you will know.
Right, okay.
Okay, we're going to start with Demi Moore.
Who is 59 years old, apparently.
She was 59 when she made The Substance.
How old is The Substance?
I'm not telling you that. The photo that you are looking at, the visual aid that you had, was taken this year.
She is 61 years old.
She is 63.
It's still within 5 years, though, right?
It is, so you are correct.
Fucking hell, so The Substance is that old already?
Yeah, just time just disappears. Martha Stewart.
Love me some Martha Stewart. She's in her 70s, I think, now.
This is the most recent photo of her from 2026.
Oh, is she in her 70s? No, she can't be. Not looking like a goddess like that. See, this is the thing we were saying earlier about Margot Qualley. I would pick Martha Stewart.
Yeah. How old do you think she is? Come on, you need to take a guess.
64.
Martha Stewart, I'm going to show you this picture again, is 84 years of age.
Holy shit. What a woman.
Like, it blew my mind when I
What
found out she
an
was
absolute woman.
unbelievably hot. Like, I've got like, if Lisa was ever to leave me, because I'm never going to leave Lisa, but if Lisa ever got fed up and left me, like, I would never ever say, like, I'd never be setting like my age range on dating apps to 80 something. However,
No, me neither.
seeing,
It depends on the mood. I'll be honest with you.
yeah, but seeing Martha Stewart, like, if there's 80-year-olds like that, I'm changing my age range, like 100%.
Yeah, she's incredible. What a flawless woman. I mean,
Uh,
a photo is not something to necessarily go on, but still,
yeah.
well done,
Let's go with Mr. Pitt.
Mr. Pitt is 53 years old.
You got that one wrong. He is 62.
Fucking hell, man. These Hollywood celebrities drinking baby blood, man, honestly.
Thomas Brody Sangster, who was the little boy from he's the drummer in the Christmas movie that the name has escaped me.
Yeah.
Love Actually.
Love Actually. I knew it and it was on the tip of my tongue, and then you said that and I lost it. He is 33 years old.
Pretty much spot on. He is 35. Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson.
Oh, no, that's going to get me. Samuel L. Jackson is 71 years old.
Again, you're wrong. He is 77.
Oh, man.
Like, I know.
I could only dream of feeling that glorious in my 70s.
Exactly. Let's make it a little bit more uncomfortable for you and go with McKenna Grace.
I love McKenna Grace. 23?
McKenna Grace is not 23. She is only 19.
Yeah, but I mean, like that wasn't like a sexualized thing.
No. I'm
You were like saying it like, you bad man, she's only 19 years old. No, like,
no, I'm not setting you up to be like a name in the Epstein list.
No, exactly.
Let's go with Joe Keery.
Joe Keery is actually a lot older than most people think. He's in his 30s. And again, I think he's 32, 34.
You went either side. He's 33.
Yeah. Determined not to win this game.
You have two more. So you have Sadie Sink.
22 again.
Pretty much on the nose. She is 23. And finally, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
He's got to be in his 80s now. See, that's the difference, right? I'm going to tell you he's in his 80s. You're going to tell me he's the same age as Samuel L. Jackson, and it's going to blow my fucking mind comparing the two. I'm going to say 81.
He is 88. But when you compare Anthony Hopkins, who's 88, and Martha Stewart, who's 84, they are not the same. They're not even the same generation.
No,
they're just not.
No,
look,
it's amazing what Botox can do for you, though, isn't it?
But Botox
Well,
can do a lot
for you.
Botox
from Martha Stewart.
3-word review. On TikTok, we got Hammy3121 who went with overrated B movie, which I thought was a little bit harsh. Narcotic Casserole went with the perfect movie, which I agree. Over on Instagram, Dewey Podmonster disagrees with you, went with what an ending. Mike the Movie Misfit, amazingly wet horror.
It is very wet.
It's an excellent description of this movie. Jamie Louise Can't Lose went with Blue Balls Whiplash. Dave B Movies went with I Want Shrimps.
Oh, nobody wants shrimp. I don't think I can eat a shrimp again after watching this movie.
I was prawn ready.
I was prawn ready. Randomly, Eric went with Tits, Arse, Weirdness.
Fitting.
And over on Slasher, Newman, Movies for Days, went with Chicken Drumstick.
Yeah, that was a weird scene. But it looks incredible. Really did.
Really, really does. Let's do Mark's favourite time of the week.
Let's take a punt on the VHS hunt. I don't care what Mark is not a.
Mark has left.
Prepared. I'm not prepared.
I know you're not. That's why I pulled the trigger so quick, because I knew you weren't ready. It's for my own amusement.
Right,
Oh.
I'm back. I've just dropped the collection everywhere, but I'm back. Right, okay. I wasn't organised this week. I do apologise.
I'm really interested this week because the substance I know you do not have on VHS. Like
No, and that's the thing. This is one of those weeks where it's going to be really difficult for me to then be like, hey, here's my copy of the movie we've just reviewed, which is awesome. So I've decided that I'm not going to necessarily give you some bullshit. I'm going to take the influences of the movie I've watched and try and pick out from the collection the movies that I think incorporate that. But I'm going to settle on one. There's going to be one definitive movie that I'm going to be like, this is the representation of substance.
Is
But
it
I
Death
do have
Becomes Her?
Spoiler alerts. So I have a few, and I'm going to go
Okay.
through them. I'm going to go through the first couple really briefly because I don't want to dive too much into those and then not be able to use them again on future episodes.
Okay.
So the obvious one that I went for originally was Reanimator.
Yeah, which we've got coming in a couple of weeks' time.
Which is why I don't want to dive too much into that. But Green Substance,
yeah.
Death Becomes Her.
Yeah,
obviously.
Those two would have loved The Substance.
The Fly.
Yeah, another good one.
Fantastic copy. But the definitive representation of The Substance has to be none other than Society.
Oh, we need to get Society on the show just to talk about The Shunt.
Yeah, this is the perfect body horror movie, in my opinion. I love this movie. Brian User's depiction of what happens in this film is incredible. This is a really cool copy as well. Again, ex-rental, you know me, I'm only an ex-rental collector. It's a difficult set to pick up, actually. And this is a sample copy. And I wish I could explain to you guys the difference between samples, and I don't know whether these were like pre-releases that got sent to rental stores early doors, so they could, like, do you remember when you went to a rental store, they'd have certain shit playing on the background of the tellies that was only licensed to particular rental stores? And I think that's what this is, which makes this copy even rarer than the standardized ones that you would pick up. Sometimes I've got quite a lot of sample movies in my collection, but more often than not, I don't realize they are that version until I've got them, and people who've sold them to me don't realize what they're selling. But I know there are specific people out there that collect just sample copies. The only one that I've actually gone out of my way to purchase with the intent of buying it was the Halloween 4 promo copy that got sent out, like I say, to rental stores and stuff that they could use in advertisements on the TVs. And that one was a heavy price tag on it. But I love it. But yeah, for this week, my representation of The Substance in my VHS collection is Brian User's Society.
Perfect.
Let's take a punt on the VHS hunt. I don't care what you say. Mark is not a.
Well, that is it for this week. Also, make sure you go and follow Mark. He's at VHS from the Crypt on Instagram, where you get to see a hell of a lot more of his collection than he showcases here. Next week, we're going to be back. We're joined by a guest next week, and we're going to be reviewing a movie that, I'll be honest, I'm amazed it's taken 5 years to get on the show, as we look at They Live. If you've been following us on Instagram and you see the orders we do the polls, you were expecting Reanimator next week, but because of recording schedules, we've swapped it. So you've got They Live next week, Reanimator the week after.
It'll be interesting because I've never seen They Live, and I love John Carpenter.
Wow. Oh, man. God, I hope you like it. We're also joined by an incredible guest. So we're going to be joined by Lauren Elena. A lot of you will know her where she's popped up on other podcasts. She is going to be playing Harley Quinn in the sequel to Joker's Wild. She's also been cast in a couple of other horror movies. She's got her own music career that's just kicking off as well. But she's not coming on to do an interview. She is going all in, and she's coming on to do a full review of They Live and talk about what she's doing. And she's going to do the quiz. So it's going to be really interesting. If you've seen her anywhere else, she is the most animated, in your face, like, I am here. She's a ton of fun. Also does the best fucking impression of Harley Quinn. Like, animated Harley Quinn is here next week. That's all I'm going to say.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, make sure you check us out next week. Also, make sure you leave us a review anywhere that you can, and go and subscribe to us on Patreon, and follow us on socials, and do anything else you can to help us grow. That would be wonderful. But yeah, that's it from me. That's it from him. Yeah, see you next week, I guess.
See you next Tuesday.
You want to die tonight?
Late at night, I tune into your show, where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in, as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long roundups. You run podcasts, horror movie reviews, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You run podcasts. You run podcasts.
You. Show me them boobies.